Season 2, Episode 16, season finale.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, it might not be enough to solve the drought problems here in the Golden State, but it sure is coming down pretty good here in Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in at 15-0, one win short of a perfect regular season.
And it's something we've only seen a couple of times. Miami in 1972, New England in 2007. We know they're not going to mail it in. They're going to go for it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season, Week 17, is underway. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. The bottom line, how do they get a win?
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide, it doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. They look to throw. It's Lock over the middle, and it's incomplete. The coverage that time excellent by Nevin Lawson. And look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
Yeah, they pitched a shutout in that game, didn't they? And those don't come around all that often in the NFL. The ability to keep someone out of the end zone and also from kicking one through the post. Well done.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing his lock on 4th down. That's complete to Jake Buck. Well, he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They're led out by their quarterback out of Fresno State, Derek Carr.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20. The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Now, 180. 180, we're good. 280.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 18. It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a 3rd and still about 12 to go. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can spread him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 19 and picking up the first. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Joe Mixon. The numbers for Mixon last week, 20 carries, 87 yards.
And they've already clinched a playoff berth, so I'm eager to see how they approach this game because some teams' philosophy is to go ahead and get guys out. Other teams' philosophy, continue to do what you're doing best. I expect them to go ahead and use their top guys all the way through this one.
DeAndre Washington, his first carry. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down. To throw his Carr. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially as pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. Now P-Ryan. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
They've definitely established a rhythm on this drive, moving the ball quite well. And big man with football is an integral part of the whole thing.
Right down. 185. Here we go. Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
From the 41, Carr, the open man here, run throw. And this time not quite to the 30, it'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Let's go.
9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here in this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker, can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. That catch, by the way, number 505 of his career, and that ties him with a couple of other tight ends for the pass, Frank Wycheck and Dallas Clark.
And those guys were excellent players, but how about what we're seeing right now? 505 and rising. What a nice career he's put together.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll be out of bounds. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
They'll run it here with Pirine. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Samaje Pirine with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now on the return here, we've got an injured player down there. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You ain't going nowhere.
On 2nd down, run with Lindsey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get
60
ball.
Pittsburgh. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lock. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now Lock on the bootleg. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Come on, set.
Second and
30
10
base.
from the 33-yard line.
Watch the run. Hit it.
They'll run. It's Lindsey. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
I'm coming.
Shotgun snap to Locke. He'll get this to Philip Lindsay, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, end up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
Ready. 90 Wolf. Mike 54. Watch QB drop. Ready.
Into the red zone, it's Locke. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down. After the incompletion, here's second and 10 from the 20.
I'm coming after you.
They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with third and still 7 yards to go. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's third and 7. From the gun, it's Locke. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jake Butt, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. They've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Move.
Mike 51. Let's go deep.
Throwing again. Carr. This is Carr. It's Ryan Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
7:34.
Joker, 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 Joker.
Mixon with a first down carry. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd.
Mike's 47. Come to my world. We want
From the gun, it's Carr. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. These two teams all tied after one. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You ready? Watch this, yo, Chief. Watch the safety creep.
From the gun to give to Mixon. And a result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Last stop.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
We own this.
On 2nd down, Mixon. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. The Raiders on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
47 to Mike, boy.
Hey, echo.
Check, 47.
Hey, watch your leg. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47. In the face.
Shotgun down for Carr. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So here's the kicker, Caleb Sturgis, on to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 33. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
A running play on first down will get 4 up to the 29. And they give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Shotgun snap and a give to Lindsey. And he takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
They'll try and run forward with Lindsey. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Now Mixon. And out of the run. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. On the delay, it's Mixon. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
On first down, into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion. And that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll let this go deep for Sutton.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a first down.
And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, and puts them in that position.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Hey, Haywood!
Come off the ball, 47's the mic, boys, 47. Check, 47. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We gotta
Now a play fake. Carr. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the 2nd foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
keep playing hard.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Carr completes it. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A Raider first down, 17 yards.
One of the feature points of the end route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 43. Now Carr escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throwing again on second down. Carr. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. We'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. It's a jet sweep. This is Renfro. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Mike 51, Mike 51.
Wild Bill, Wild Bill.
Throwing his call on 3rd down. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Sturgis is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So the field goal there counts what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And looking at this situation, Charles, you got more than a minute. You've got all 3 timeouts. Probably no need to play this safe.
So what you're saying is that we're doing a little bit of a mind meld here, aren't we? Because I'm thinking along the same lines as you. This amount of time, don't be compelled to play it too safe. This is a chance to get points on the board. Press it a little bit.
And especially since a touchdown here gets you the lead. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Pull it together.
To throw again on 2nd down. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Now a play fake here on 1st down. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
The pass complete to Ryan Brown. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones in a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Buying time to his left. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Now Carr again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's the Raiders punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And this will pin him back deep. That's going to kick out of bounds right at about the 7-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our halftime report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, where you see the final score there. 28-14 was your final score. From there, it's off to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Chicago Bears. Andrew Luck has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Buffalo Bills. 24-0 is your final. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you. We welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Alex Mixon running right, and not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Here's Carr. He's got a man open. It's hard to run from. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This is Mixon on the draw. And he's got it across midfield and in the Denver territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go. White Monday. Check 31.
They'll try and run with their fullback. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
93. 93.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And this is going to be another first down as they make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Now, you wide at 8. Mike's 47. You go night-night. Don't go night-night. No. Off. Later, 2.
Carr now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7.
Watch the out. Check 24.
Who's right, Chief?
Carr to the throw. This one complete to Gresham. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They come out here in the eye.
Blue down.
Here's a run with Mixon. And he fights his way into the end zone for a later touchdown. Joe Mixon hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
So now Carr, he'll lead the Raiders up to go for 2.
Get ready.
Hey, 734.
51 to Mike.
Hey, orbit.
Come on.
That's up.
To throw is Carr. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
You better talk to your boy.
Well, they tried to get 2 and ended up getting none because the quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and ends up getting sacked.
Nowhere to go at all. Great job, though, defensively. They were ready. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things work well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cleveland Farrell make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Here's Locke to throw. He'll dump this one off to Lindsey. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And at his size, you can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. He plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of where all the big boys are. You know, make someone miss in the open field.
2 yards. It's fourth down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take. Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
47's the mic. 47's the mic.
Watch twist.
Carr hits his running back, P-Ryan. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Come on, now. Let's go.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. This is Mixon, and a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now. 51, Mike. 180. 180. We're good. 280.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr. And Gresham has it left side. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
That's it. Big hit.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Trip. You got trips. You got 3.
From the gun, it's Carr. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And John Gruden has made the call. His guys are going for it.
Double tight, guys. Double tight.
We got 4.
What's up? What's up?
They run for it with Mixon. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth.
At first glance, I actually wasn't sure that he got it, but he ended up getting it by about a full yard.
He certainly did, but it took a little effort, didn't it? Took some nice push, a little crease inside, and some determined running to make sure that he got the first down.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Team six. Team six.
Shotgun now for Carr. Flash to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to find another down.
To throw on second and 10. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. In there for sack number 127 in his great career, moving it past Kansas City Hall of Famer Derek Thomas on the all-time list. On third and long, it's caught. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. They find some open field here. He'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 27-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 27. Mixon. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play, stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
Tackles. 694.
Buzz.
You remember me?
Operating from the gun. Caught. Right side. Gresham. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. The Raiders on third down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This is 3rd and 4.
Hey, wahoo!
I got you, boy. 51.
From the gun. Carr. It's complete to Grant. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Carr come up here with a 1st and 10, and he's 6 of 7 now on this drive.
29.
Into the red zone, it's Carr, eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. It was Bryce Callahan jarring the ball free defensively. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Hey, high 7.
Check Mike 47. Hey, tighten down. There you go.
To throw again. Carr. He finds his running back, Mixon. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and just like that, it's third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
51, Mike.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
I got you. Hey, Mike, 51.
Again, they'll throw it caught. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Touchdown.
Jermaine Gresham, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
Point after now from Sturgis. And that one makes this a 19-point game. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, here's Seibert now to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw in his lap. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Broncos on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 10. They'll try to draw Lindsey. And he's going to be brought down short of the 1st at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Lock going to go on 4th down. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. Denver has a 1st down on the 15-yard play. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Lock now. 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. First and nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tahir Whitehead able to record his 5th sack of the season.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing now is Locke. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing his Lock on 3rd down. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 26.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Here we go.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 26-yard line. Clock now on first down. They'll find Lindsey here. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes it 2nd and 9. Clock now to throw. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen. Despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. They look to throw. It's left. And this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. That's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Just keep moving it. Make them do it again.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Okay, partner, hyperbole alert, all right? I think that this has got to be the best game I've seen this secondary play this entire season. Doesn't matter whether they've been in man, zone, they've reacted, communicated, and really made plays on the football.
They absolutely have. And the play on that last deep ball, maybe the best example of it, they've been solid all game long. And fourth down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on fourth. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out in your midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're on the bench right now feeling great.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing his car on third down. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
Factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Clock on a throw. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Phillip Lindsay there. And it'll bring up third down. They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Again, it's Lott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll lose yardage and be down at the 7-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now, 180.
Mike's 47.
Carr going to look to throw. Flushed out right. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Here's Lott to throw. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
60 outlaw.
Mike is 59. Mike the 59.
Right.
Throwing on first down is Lott. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over in your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. What is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you. Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Greg Joseph for the field goal try. The kick by Joseph is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time.
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back. For a Denver touchdown.
Baby, all ball. It's on.
So problems here on special teams, and it results in the scoop and the score.
They talk all the time on special teams about keeping your head on a swivel, trying to see the whole field. Hard to do when things are going that fast, bodies all over the place. You're just trying to find the right guy to align yourself with. On that play, wow.
Joseph now to have the PAT. And they're able to cut the deficit to 12. They've gone to the 4th up in Seattle, and the Giants are starting to pull away in that one. Kareem Hunt, he led the way with over 100 yards rushing and also 2 touchdown runs. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to 9. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. Well, this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Extra point safely through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So looking at this situation, you should have time for the onside kick and then at least one play. And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he gets it down to the 32. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
No, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Raiders, they've indeed run the table here on the regular season. They finish a perfect 16-0, joining the 07 Pats and the 72 Dolphins as the only teams to ever do so. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Denver, they'll limp to the finish line with a final record of 5-11. And this is a team that has a few good pieces in place but could stand to get deeper